Today's video is sponsored by Picker's Grip. Stop dropped picks and pick rotation while playing with Picker's Grip. Made with all natural ingredients in Virginia. Check out their website to order. When you support my sponsor, this also supports my channel, and it's very much appreciated. That's right, it's that time again. It's time for another episode of
Know Your Troll.
Know Your Troll. This is the video series where we embrace the stupidity of the world. We can't avoid it. We might as well embrace it and make a few bucks on it while we are exposing these people by first and last name wherever possible, just how stupid they actually are. But to be clear, not all of these comments are troll comments. Some of these comments are, in fact, actual, legitimate, respectful comments, of which I also respond to as well. So, without further ado, here we go. This one is from Adventures in Guitarland. It says, thank you. As someone who has just started a guitar YouTube channel, it's good to know I'm on the right track, especially with listening to the videos for creators and already having a schedule. You are very welcome, sir. That you are commenting on the video that I did a while back about how to start a guitar YouTube channel. So thank you very much. I'm glad to hear that you got something out of it. Yeah, there's a lot of great resources on YouTube itself. A lot of channels that are dedicated specifically to helping people like you and me hone our craft and improve our videos. Daryl Eves, Brian G. Johnson, Sean Cannell, and Roberto Blake are probably my favorites in that realm. So if you haven't already, I recommend checking those channels out. Barry Miller says, that pedal sounds like shit. A great tube head like the one behind you should be able to do most of what you played. Well, Mr. Barry Miller, you are absolutely correct. That amplifier behind me will do just about everything that pedal will do, but better. However, that video was not a demo of that amplifier. That video was a demo of the pedal. Sorry that you didn't like it. This one's from Baja Racer 43X, who has trolled before. If these were male players, they would be considered average. Lita Ford had other players in her band doing all the solo work. How small must your dick be that you have to open up your sperm gurgler and release a sexist comment like that just to validate your own skill level of playing, regardless of what it is? Jesus, what a loser. This one's from Bradley Pariah. I bought the Glary Burning Fire electric guitar. I love it. The saddle height screws are too tall for my taste because they poke out at the top of the saddle a little bit, which makes palm mutes a little uncomfortable, but who cares? I bought a whole new set of shorter screws if I did yada, yada, yada. I'm not reading all that. Goes on to say, I don't think your assessment that the instrument is not functional is fair. I think your tuning issues are completely irrelevant to the quality of the instrument. Serious question, are you in a band? If so, would you throw brand new strings on a guitar right before a show and just tune up once and expect your guitar to stay in tune all night? Even the most expensive guitar on earth would go out of tune after every note you played. How is that a reflection of the instrument's quality? This is about the Glary guitar that I demoed a while back. I get this all the time on this video. People buy that guitar and then they love it, and then they come and see my video looking for validation and they get mad because I was not very kind to that guitar, and the reason why is because it will not stay in tune. I am very familiar with how to restring a guitar. I am very familiar that brand new guitar strings need to be stretched. This was not that situation. I have two guitars sitting right behind me, a Schecter CR6 and a Chapman baritone guitar, both of which have been featured on this channel right out of the box, by the way, just like the Glary was, and neither of them had that tuning issue. Back in my store days, I have unboxed hundreds, probably thousands of brand new guitars. Not a single one of them had tuning issues like that Glary guitar did. It is not a matter of the strings needing to be stretched out. It is a matter of the tuning machines being stripped out or something, or probably among other things. It is a very, very poorly constructed guitar. Anthony Townsend says, Brian May and The Edge both cite Rory Gallagher as the reason they chose the Vox AC30, so why didn't you mention that? Because I don't care about Rory Gallagher. In reference to the comedy video that I did a while back called Stupid Things That Guitar Players Do in Quarantine, This genius Claudio Berrigan thought that he would offer up his 2 cents by saying, clearly not exercising for the last 10 years. Oh, the interwebs. This is from Daniel Burr. He says, I've become a fan from your channel being recommended. I bought some generic Fat Cat humbucker size P90s from the Fretwire to put in a Chinese-made hollow body I have. Can't wait to finally hear P90s through my setup, even if they are knockoffs. Yeah, man. Thank you very much for for checking out the channel, and glad that you're enjoying everything. I have not played those particular humbuckers, but I'm assuming they're kind of similar to a Seymour Duncan something or other, kind of a vintagey PAF style. So whatever guitar they're going in, sounds like it's going in a hollow body. I hope you enjoy them, and again, thanks for checking out the channel, and hope you keep doing so. This is from Elijah Wagner. Says, have you heard Trivium? They use the PV-XXX2 in their latest album. Otherwise, they usually use the 5150, and it's heavy as hell. Not hating, by the way, just curious. I've never been a real big fan of the XXX. It's not the worst amp that I've ever heard, but it seemed kind of it just always kind of sounded a little brittle and a little trebly to me. Just wasn't my favorite PV amp overall. But Matt Heafy has said on I think it was Ole England's channel that I saw it on, where he talked about using the XXX and a tube screamer, and that's really about it as the tone for their latest album, which is doing real well for them. So I'm not really a Trivium fan. That said, it's probably if they got a good sound out of it, and they did get a good sound out of it, maybe I'll give that amp another shot and revisit it one of these days. This one's from Christopher Frasher. Says, not everyone can be great at everything, and you clearly do not belong on the internet as a presenter. You're awkward AF, you have zero communication abilities, and negative command of the English language. Before you call me mean-spirited or garbage human being, let me assure you that I say this with no malice intended. You simply do not belong in front of a camera. You are probably very successful as a salesperson behind the counter, or hell, maybe even walking around a showroom floor, but that doesn't necessarily translate to photogenic, and this video is Exhibit A of my case in point. Again, I'm sure you're great in Excel and many other tasks, but video host / presenter is not one of your strong suits. Please accept that YouTube personality is not in your wheelhouse, and never post another video unless you're behind the camera at most. Oh, man. The video that you commented on was like 2.5 years old, and I think was also my most popular video that just went over 1 million views. But thank you very much for your concern. Dave Williams says, bypassing a tube preamp and replacing it with this pedal is the dumbest thing ever, period. In your clean tone with the pedal and bypass, you basically have no preamp and no way to EQ your guitar. How do you use other gain pedals that go in front of the amp? It's like making your life 10 times harder just to make a crappy pedal sound passable. Oh boy, this is somebody that really does not agree with using the Metal Zone as a preamp. This thread went on for like a full day, of trolling, of nothing but trolling back and forth. And without giving Mr. Williams any more of my time, trust me, he is a complete moron. James Hartwell says, "Man crush much?" Hey, when it comes to Guitar Max, yes, I do. And besides, who could blame me? I'm sitting there watching a Guitar Max video on my computer, and my wife walks in and says, "Who's that?" I said, "That's my twin brother." She said, "Yeah, I wish." Ethan Meyer says, "You must delete every negative comment you get." Far from it. I usually keep most of them, and not only do I keep most of them, but the really good ones usually wind up in a Know Your Troll video, just like this one. Guitar Max says, "This is so weird. This guy looks just like me." Ha! Take that, James Hartwell. John Snyder says, "This guy would sell you a small amp and not tell you it sucks, though. Thumbs down." First of all, James, thank you very much for the thumbs down, as YouTube views thumbs up and thumbs down the same. I benefit either way. But to respond to your comment, unless a customer came in and specifically requested an amplifier that I don't like, that is the only instance when I would knowingly and willingly sell that customer an amplifier if it was not the right fit for him. Otherwise, the reason why I am very, very good at my job is because I make sure the customers get the right gear for them in their situations and their needs. And that includes price, that includes sound, that includes features, that includes benefits, and most importantly, that includes what is going to make that customer happy long term and want to come back and see me in the future. That is called Sales 101, and you are a complete idiot if you think that I am inexperienced enough not to know that. So, in other words, I oftentimes will share my videos in various Facebook groups, and I showed the stupid things guitar players do in quarantine video in a group, and it was met with this comment from Mr. Eric McConnell. Says, sounds like someone is upset that he can't buy new gear because of responsibilities. You could just let people live their lives without being negative, bud. How about notice all the positive things people are doing with quarantine, like practicing where they normally wouldn't have time to, or learning new songs? I'll tell you what, Mr. McConnell, tell me how much a sense of humor for you would cost, and I will gladly spend my own personal stimulus check on one for you. In response to the Rob Chapman apology video, Johnny Q says, 2 months to apologize only because his sales went down the tube. If you can please share the link to the Chapman Guitars financials that you got that information from, I would really, really like to see it, because most of the Chapman Guitars models that are for sale here in the U.S. have all been on back order for months, including the one that I've been waiting for. I'm pretty sure Chapman Guitars are doing just fine. Megas says, long-winded AF. You call it long-winded, I call it thorough. Here's a demo request from Knife Sharpening Norway. Can you do a review on the Ibanez RGD61AL, please? And please a normal EADGBE tuning. Oh, the interwebs. Mariah Ulfa says, this video is the suckest because any amp of them's even being turned on. This is in response to the worst amps ever video, and this is, I get this shit all the time. And I will tell you the same thing I tell everybody else. As soon as you go and spend your own money on a pile of amps that you hate, then maybe I'll take that comment seriously. Until then, don't expect me to. Marcelino Sananto says, so many of us would love to see a video on historic guitars like Randy Rhoads' Polka Dot V, how it was made, where it is now, same with his white Les Paul. And there are, those guitars are really, access to them is next to impossible, and in the case of Randy Rhoads, my understanding is his mother has all of his guitars locked up pretty tight. And, of course, his mother was known to be one of his greatest musical inspirations. They were very close. And a few years back, Fender actually did a limited run of the replica of the Concorde, which was the very first iteration that Randy Rhoads designed with Grover Jackson of what is now known as the Randy Rhoads V. She made the Fender Custom Shop guys come out to her house and take all the measurements and photos in the basement where she could stand there and watch and keep an eye over the whole thing. And, my understanding is she wouldn't even let them take it out of the basement to get any better light. So my understanding is that is the closest she will ever come to letting loose of that guitar out of her possession, even, on a loaner basis. She is very, very protective of Randy Rhoads' instruments. So, as of course by now, and who could blame her? By now they're worth a fortune, and each worth a fortune anyway. So this is from Mike Flanders. Says, got to hear that stupid riff twice in one video. How lucky. Never fails that you're going to break that one out. I don't even know which one you're talking about, dude, but I'm not afraid to admit I play the same riffs over and over all the time. Miraposa Gihano says, I do not understand these guys making videos about nothing. What is this bozo? Are you some kind of specialist, or are you lying all day long in your boxers thinking about new ways to annoy the world? How about a 1982 El Degas imitation Les Paul? Ever heard of that? No, I haven't. Come on, man. There's been thousands of guitars made. How can you seriously pretend to know the top 8 worst production guitars ever made? It is so pretentious that as a viewer, the only thought I have while looking at your video is get a life. You are bitching and moaning about the title of a video, the title being Top 8 Worst Production Guitars Ever, which is a very, very similar title to several other videos on this channel. If you don't like the title of the video, I honestly don't care. There is absolutely no way possible for me or anybody to quantize the top 8 worst production guitars ever. It was an opinion piece, and if you can't accept that, that is not my problem. That is your problem, and you might want to go see a therapist or somebody about that. In response to the Stevie T apology video, Nair87 says, "Dude, he barely apologized. You should check out KDH's video on Mr. Terraberry." I did check out KDH's video on Mr. Terraberry, and I was far less than impressed. As a YouTube creator, KDH's video is extremely misleading on a number of things. I have already made the decision that I am not going to elaborate on that and and offer up anything publicly on that whole scenario because the dude's not worth my time. I have a personal policy that I don't trash other creators, but in the instance that somebody is going to pretend like they are more morally superior than any of the rest of us, and that it's their civic duty to expose any other of course the bigger YouTube channels, which let's face it, realistically, I mean that's nothing more than an attempt to grow his own channel. But there are a number of things that he said in that video that are extremely misleading. And it was the exact same thing in the Rob Chapman video, and I assume it was the same thing in the Glenn Fricker video. I've never seen that one because it was taken down before I even heard about it. But realistically, I would not exactly consider that to be a reliable source. Some dude with no name says, "What the hell are you playing? Absolutely horrendous." It's a riff from a song that I wrote called "I Wrote This Specifically to Piss Off the Trolls." There's a relatively new Facebook group called Unpopular Guitar Opinions, and within said group, there is no other member that gets more butthurt over every single post than one Mr. Mike Minkies. To which he said to me in a thread, "No, he wants to shit on his own inventory, buy his shitty Boss pedals. If he sells something, it's awesome. If a pedal maker refuses to give him a free demo model, it's crap. Too legit to quit." Yeah, this whole thing started because Mr. Monkeys, whatever your name is, seems to think that I am that I own my own guitar shop, despite the fact that I've mentioned over and over and over again that all my videos are recorded here in my own house, and all the gear that you see behind me and over in the other room, I own all of it. So this dingus went on for a day or two in this thread, and basically got to the point that he was going to leave me a bad review on Google about my shop so that nobody ever comes to buy from me in my store ever again. Well, dude, that is going to be very, very difficult to leave a bad review on a store that doesn't exist. I very, very rarely block anybody on Facebook, but this guy, I had no choice. Panda Bear 564 says, "You're one of the few guys out here I would trust buying a guitar from, knowledgeable and straight up." Thank you very much. Thank you for the kind words. In my full-time job, when I'm selling gear for a living, I mean, obviously that's my ultimate goal, is to sell the customer the right product for their situation and their needs, and their budget. And the truth is, there's great gear out there across all different types of price points. It doesn't have to be $3,000, to be a great guitar. Paper Chasin' 23, another re-troll, says, "You're a dumbass guitar poochie. What is? I don't even know what most of this means." Paul Cowart says, "So what is your main combo amp, Robert?" "I have a Silvertone 1482 that is nice and light and sounds nice and warm. Good stuff." I'm more of a head and cabinet kind of guy. I just always have preferred head and cabinets, particularly closed back speaker cabinets. You know, I do own a few combos. You know, in the instance that I do reach for a combo, it's probably going to be my PV6505 Plus. You know, just a great amp. You know, it's one of those amps I don't use it. Honestly, I don't use it as often as I should. And you know, every time I do turn it on to use it for something, I'll strum a few chords and kind of look at it and look back at another amp and look back over at the PV and realize that thing actually sounds killer. Steve Bardos says, slow down and articulate so your words flow clear and smoothly, and cut down on all the negativity in your videos. I can tell you hate yourself, but you'll be okay. Just cut out the carbs, bro. Oh, man, I hope you're not a psychiatrist, because if you are, you really suck at your job, dude. This gem is from T-Rex Gordon. Only a complete idiot would tell people that Carvin is one of the hottest guitar brands today. Besides being lazy and obese, you're a complete dumbass. Nice job, YouTube, where anyone can play pretend. I've never said that Carvin is one of the hottest guitar brands today, because Carvin is now called Kiesel. And I have said that Kiesel is one of the hottest guitar brands on the market today, as they are. They are selling guitars like crazy. Right now, they are extremely popular, and you are probably not very active in the guitar community if you have not seen that. Regarding the rest of your comments, sorry about your penis, by the way. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. I'm not sorry at all. Honestly, I hope you get hit by a truck today. Ben Pie says, nearly 1 million views for a man who can barely get through 14 minutes of teleprompter. Yeah, it's pretty awesome, isn't it, man? 1 million views on a video that took off specifically because of a bad joke about the reverse flying V. Pretty awesome, isn't it? By the way, I also know how to spell teleprompter. So, good job. William Budd says, and you are a dumb effing idiot. He apparently did not like being called a whiny little girl, as many guitar players are. That was in reference to this video right here. Oh, man. Oh, the interwebs. So, there you have it. That is the latest edition of Know Your Troll. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to do the likey, sharey, subscribey thing down there. You know where all that stuff is at. I have updated my Teespring shop. I also encourage you to go check that out if you really want to support the channel. There are various different links and stuff down in the description for you to do so. Thank you so much for watching. Adios. See you later. Bye-bye. Be safe, everybody.